This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640, it is The Conway Show. We've had the Franklin fire burning for a couple days out in Malibu, and there's been, last report, 7 homes burned, lots of other homes damaged. I think at the last report, it was almost 3,000 acres burned. Low humidity is not helping the fight of this fire. Malibu dodged a bullet in a lot of ways. There could have been a hell of a lot of homes burned to the ground. It didn't happen, but I would say our hearts go out to all the people that did lose the home. It's devastating. And that fire continues. At last report, I think it was 10 or 11% contained, and there's going to be firefighters out there for the next 2 weeks taking care of these hot spots. And hopefully we get a break in the weather. But during this entire ordeal, my sister lives out in Malibu. And when she called me on Monday night, I think it was Monday night, and said her electricity was out, they shut it off voluntarily, or I guess, we don't volunteer for that. They shut it off and good luck, to prevent sparking of wires and high tension wires and power wires. And my sister's with us to give us a bird's eye view of what's been going on in Malibu for the last 2 days. Kelly Conway, how are you?
Hi, Tim.
Ding dong with you. All right, so what's going on? What's going on in Malibu right now? And then we'll backtrack and we'll go to what happened at the beginning of it. But what's the latest in Malibu, and how close are you to the fires?
The latest is there's no one out here. I really I stayed because I just didn't want to leave, and I thought it was kind of going to go away. We got asked to evacuate on Monday night after I talked to you,
right,
like in the middle of the night between Monday and Tuesday, and I loaded my car, and then the wind switched, and I could see the flames on the hills one canyon over.
Oh, man.
From my place, from my balcony. But the wind switched, and I just stayed, and then it kind of moved northwest. So it kind of went away from us. I'm near Duke's Restaurant down in South Central Malibu, South Central.
The poor end of Malibu?
The poor people's Malibu.
All right.
We just have bikes down here. We don't have cars.
Right. Also, if you're being evacuated, if you leave the area, you can't get back in. So it's smart to stay.
Exactly why I didn't want to leave. And you were so nice to ask me to come to your house.
That's right.
But I'm a pain in the butt. But
that's right.
Yeah, I stay. Yeah, if I tried to go out today because there's nothing here. All the power's still out for my area for sure, which is most of from Topanga to about Malibu Road to where Cross Creek or to where Pepperdine is. So, and I just heard that all of our power comes through Malibu Canyon. So I think it might be a while because that's where the worst of it was, and that's where it started. So,
and what about the businesses out there? The businesses staying open where you can get groceries, or restaurants staying open?
Nope. No. Nothing's open because people can't get in to work.
Right.
I did go to Ralph's today to get batteries for my only flashlight that I have.
Wow.
And I got the wrong size.
Oh, good.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Wait, was Ralph's open?
It's going well. No, they're just giving out water and batteries. And if you need, baby stuff like diapers and stuff like that, they have it. And they're on a generator because the store was lit up and they have to keep their food all cold, I guess. So they're running. But
so what was it like? I mean, going up PCH from the poor end of Malibu to where the Richies are, will they allow you to drive on PCH?
Yes, you can drive on PCH, but you can't go past the cross points, which is or checkpoints, which is Topanga, to the south or east, and then it's Corral Canyon to the northwest. So you can't even get to anything past that. There's a big police presence. There's a sheriff. It seems like every quarter of a mile. Right. So if you're a robber, don't come out here.
Yeah, they don't like that. They're going to step to you quick out there tonight.
Yeah.
What about the smoke? Is it still pretty crazy?
Yes, it's pretty bad. Although the wind is blowing. Actually, there's no wind right now at all. Like zero wind, nothing's moving. So good. I think that will help. The fire. I mean, the smoke is now more up toward like past Pepperdine. It's in. From what I'm understanding, the fire now is in the hills past Pepperdine, Corral Canyon, even like where Corral Canyon is to the valley. There's so much acreage in there that it's just burning, but there's no homes or people back there. So,
we saw a lot of stories of people who stayed behind, not the Richies, but the people, like their surfing and their beer. But they stayed behind, and they were putting fires out and saved a bunch of homes.
Oh, my friend up on the Malibu bluffs or knolls, bluffs, right above the Civic Center where Cross Creek is. My friend saved his house with a garden hose and his neighbor's house.
Wow!
And in literally like in shorts and a t-shirt, and he has a beautiful house up there, but he saved it. Our village was within literally inches of being completely like Lahaina, like gone. So they saved it. And
did the fire jump PCH? Did it end up at Ralph's or near Ralph's?
No, I don't see anything on that side of PCH at all. When I was driving around yesterday, I don't see anything on that side. There was a fire there a couple of weeks ago that kind of burned out that Bluffs Park, but that's all I saw.
But it's got to be eerie to drive on PCH and have it, completely vacant on a weekday during rush hour.
Yeah, and completely dark. Like there's no lights anywhere. Like no street lights, no traffic lights, no nothing. So it's kind of scary. Only a few people are left in my building. Poor people.
When do they turn the electricity back on for the poor people?
I don't know. I checked to see if maybe it was my bill that I forgot to pay, but it was not.
And what about, can you, like when you drive on PCH at night, can you tell the houses that where the rich people have generators?
Yeah, they're all on. I saw a few of them, and I wanted to go charge my phone, but I didn't.
That's great. Well, there's no notice about when the electricity is going to come back on? Lights are going to go back to normal?
No, there's not. In fact, if it's not tomorrow, then I might go up to Mammoth, but where the other poor people, all the other poor people are.
Poor people ski.
Poor people skiing.
Yeah.
Poor people surfing.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on with us. You can always stay at our place. You got a room there. It's $100 a night. They're same rules.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, but be safe out there, and I'll check in with you later tonight.
All right. Call me later.
All right. See you later, buddy. All right. There she goes, my sister Kelly, who has been trapped in Malibu with no lights for 3 days, and she does not do well without electricity, without gasoline, without, high-end purses and watches and wallets and money. She does not do well slumming it with no electricity. Look, she went to Ralph's and has one flashlight and got the wrong batteries. How does that happen? God almighty. She learned nothing from my dad. Nothing. My dad would never, ever. Man, if my dad was alive right now and heard that story, he would drive to Malibu, not to get her batteries, to just sit her down and find out how that happened. You go to Ralph's and get the wrong batteries for your one flashlight. One flashlight. I have 900 flashlights at my house. 900. I have, and guys, if you're a real guy, you know this. The two things you have a lot of in your house, flashlights and extension cords. I probably have 40 extension cords. I have my favorite extension cord. I have my extension cord that I've repaired. I've had my extension cord that's twisted up too much, but I won't get rid of it. I've had my extension cord that I've run over with the lawnmower. I have my Christmas extension cords. I've got it all. I've got it all. And you know this. If you're a guy, you have your favorite extension cord as well. I've got mine. I know you got yours. All right, we're live on KFI. We'll come back. We'll talk about the health insurance. Health insurance is now in the news, thanks to the CEO that got killed. That devastating story by Luigi Mangione, and there's more information on this guy, and I want to talk to you about the healthcare industry. It's in the news right now, and you'll want to hear when we come back the latest on this.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
We've got more news on Luigi Mangione. I think everybody knows that name by now. The guy who allegedly knocked off the U.S. healthcare executive, United Healthcare, I should say. United Healthcare executive, CEO, Brian Thompson. So we've got more news on the gun that was used in the murder. The bullets have matched the gun. There's been a ballistic match. That's not good for this kid. It looks like they've got their guy. Let's get some more news on what's going on with this nut.
The NYPD commissioner says the gun found on Luigi Mangione matches the shell casings found at the crime scene in New York where Brian Thompson was killed.
I don't know how his lawyer is going to explain that away. Remember, his lawyer yesterday said there's not a shred of evidence that attaches this kid, this Luigi kid, to this murder. Not a shred. Well, now there's a shred. The gun that he used matches the bullets that killed Brian Thompson.
We also learned this morning fingerprints were recovered from items near that shooting.
Okay, how you can explain that one away as well? Now you got from 0 piece of evidence to now 2.
They were smudged, but law enforcement sources say they appear to match the ones taken from Mangione after his arrest in Pennsylvania. This morning, we're learning fingerprints could potentially be the first forensic tie between Luigi Mangione and the murder of Brian Thompson. Mangione was taken into custody earlier this week after he was spotted at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, eating a hash brown. A worker thought he looked like the suspect.
The worker that took his order, she said his eyes and his eyebrows. She just thought it was him.
Law enforcement.
Wow, what? You don't really get that attentive worker at that level. When you're a McDonald's worker, head down. As what's his name? Who's the comedian that used to say that when he goes to check in at an airport? Where you go to check in and you're working. You're checking in United, but you're also working there trying to get the ticket and the luggage. It was Maniscalco that said it. Maniscalco, head down, just working. And that's what's going on here.
The worker that took his order.
This woman who works at McDonald's, usually head down, looking at the register, trying to peck that order into the computer. Yet she looked up and she recognized this guy from the New York murder. This is an unbelievable woman. What an employee. What a great employee.
The worker that took his order, she said his eyes and his eyebrows. She just thought it was him.
Law enforcement officials recovered a backpack he had with him. Inside, they found a notebook along with a semi-automatic pistol and what appears to be a 3D printed silencer. Also fake IDs.
Nope. It's all adding up.
Officials.
Unless, a lot of people online think all this evidence was planted on this kid.
Officials say they also found writings that included plans on how to kill Thompson. They say Mangione mentioned the Unabomber and how using explosives could kill innocent people. The writings are still being examined, but detectives are looking to see if something written could represent a confession to the murder. This morning, his attorney says they've yet to see that evidence.
There is one from the state of New York which merely referenced a statute. We've seen no evidence. That's one of the many reasons why we're challenging the extradition at this point, so we can see some evidence and get a little more detailed information.
How about this character from The Wizard of Oz standing between you and the death penalty? Well, New York doesn't have death penalty, but they got life in prison without the possibility of parole. And you've got this character actor from The Wizard of Oz trying to defend you.
That's one of the many reasons why we're challenging the extradition at this point, so we can see some evidence and get a little more detailed information about the charges against Luigi.
Detectives are trying to figure out the motive behind the murder. Sources say investigators are interviewing Mangione's family, possibly asking about internet posts he allegedly wrote about back pain, sciatica, and more. Mangione's former roommate in Hawaii says he knew Mangione struggled with a back injury.
Unfortunately, he did let me know that the severity of his back issue was such that it was very difficult to have physical relationships with women, that it made things painful.
I challenge that. I think if you tell women that, you got to do the most of work around here, I think you'll find your fair share of gals that still were willing to do that, I think. All right, the conspiracy theory, they continue here.
An insult to the intelligence of the American people is what Luigi Mangione can be heard shouting as he enters court for an extradition hearing in Pennsylvania to face murder charges in New York. While the meaning of his outburst remains unclear, many on social media were already convinced of his innocence even before the dramatic statement.
FBI wants us to...
Man, there are two different people in this country, and you're either in Group A or Group B. You're in Group A that think, this guy's a cold-blooded murderer, and he killed this Brian Thompson on the streets of New York, and you've locked it off. You believe he's guilty. You believe he's going to jail and should go to jail for a long time. And then there's the other camp of, you got to let him out. This is our next president. This guy's great. This is the next coming of Jesus Christ. This is the way we should all act in this country. We got to take this country back from losers like Brian Thompson. And you're in one camp or the other. There are very few people in the middle on this one. And neither of the two groups understand each other. The Group A, who think he's a cold-blooded murderer, don't understand the people who are supporting him. And the people who are supporting him don't understand why this kid's in trouble. Two different groups in this country. Two. And we come back, healthcare is a big issue. And I want to play something a little lighter here. Brian Regan is one of the funniest comics in the world. And he did a whole run about healthcare that's hysterical. And when we come back, I'll play that for you.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Before I play this Brian Regan bit here, this is very funny. A little bit on the healthcare. This murder of Brian Thompson in the streets of New York has started a whole new conversation about healthcare. And again, you're on one side or the other. People in this country don't see eye to eye on almost anything. Nothing. I mean, we all have different opinions on everything. Either you're for Harris or if you were for Trump. If you're for Trump, you think that Harris was a dumb, shallow candidate you could not possibly ever vote for. If you vote for Harris, you think Trump is Hitler, a criminal, and everybody who supports him is a scumbag somehow. If you're in one group or the other, if you're in one group, you want the government to take over everything, healthcare, private sector, business, everything. You want the government to help you with everything. The other group wants government out of everything. Don't see eye to eye there at all. Global warming. Either you think it's a threat, and it's going to be the end of society, or you think it's no big deal. You're in one camp or the other. When it comes to COVID, you thought COVID was going to kill everybody in the world. Or the other group, COVID's not a big deal. I'm not getting the vaccine. And almost everybody's in one group or the other. Israel and Gaza. Either you're on the Israeli side or you're on the Gaza side. Very few people in between. Ukraine and Russia, same thing. You're on one side or the other. Gas cars or electric cars. You're in one group or the other. When it comes to meat eaters, either you enjoy going out, getting barbecue, eating chicken, steak, veal parmesan, which is very good, by the way, or you're a vegan, and you look down on people eating meat. Another area, either you recycle everything in your life or you recycle nothing in your life. And it goes on and on. It goes on in almost every aspect of society. So healthcare is in the news right now. And a lot of people are blaming healthcare companies for their lack of compassion when it comes to your illness. However, we as a country are the biggest we've ever been. We eat everything. Everything. Anytime there's something in front of us, we eat it. You ever seen the portions at restaurants? I was at Smokehouse the other day in Burbank. They brought out a portion. I thought it was dinner for all three of us. It was dinner for one. We eat what we want. Most of us are huge. 75% of the people in this country are overweight. Most people don't work out. Some people smoke. A lot of people drink. Some people take drugs. Some people don't eat right. We don't sleep well. We put salt on everything. We put sugar on everything. We process foods. We go to Starbucks and drink 3 milkshakes a day. And then we turn around when we're sick and we blame the healthcare companies and the health insurance companies. Why can't you fix me? There's got to be a little blame going on the people who are shoving food and drinks down their throat and not moving around. But yet we always want to blame somebody else. Always. We always blame somebody else other than ourselves. Always. In everything. Every single thing in life. Blame somebody else. And right now, it's the insurance companies. They're taking the blame for a lot of this. And they do have their fair share of blame in this arena. But you have to think about this. This guy who is Brian Thompson, who is the CEO of United Healthcare, he has to make money for the healthcare for that company in order for the stock prices to go up, in order for people to buy stock and that company to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But we don't blame the stock owners. We don't blame people who are buying and selling that stock, and maybe we should. Maybe there's plenty of blame to go around. But to kill a guy like this on the streets of New York, I think it's leading us down a really strange, depressing, dangerous road. And there are a lot of people. There are people in this building. And I've seen texts of people who are supporting this kid who killed Brian Thompson. I've seen texts of people who work in this building. I saw it on Jimmy Kimmel the other night. Jimmy Kimmel, on his show, read texts about people sending this kid baked goods and talking about he's going to be my new boyfriend. And I can't wait to meet this guy. This guy's become a hero instantly. And it's really weird for society. We're in one group or the other. Either you're in Group A or you're in Group B. Very few people are in the middle. Very few. All right. I want to take a quick break here. When we come back, I'm going to play you Brian Regan going to the doctor. And I guarantee you will laugh out loud at least once, maybe 5, maybe 10 times. And since we're talking about healthcare, this is going to lighten it up a little. But Brian Regan, when we come back, talk about healthcare is very funny. And you need this. Need a laugh at the end of this crazy, fire that's been happening, the murder in the streets of New York. We need a little lighter. Brian Regan's here to save us.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
Everyone's talking about healthcare now because of Luigi Mangione, who is a prime suspect in the murder of Brian Thompson in the streets of New York City. He was the CEO of United Healthcare. And Brian Regan, one of my favorite stand-up comics in the world, talked about going to the emergency room. And since everyone's talking about healthcare and everyone needs a break from shouting at each other, I thought I'd play this for you. And I think you're going to LOL at this audio. I really do.
I actually just recently had to go to the emergency room, though, and I had some stomach virus thing. I almost called an ambulance. It's weird, even considering calling an ambulance for yourself. You call ambulances for other people, right? What are you supposed to say about yourself? Can you come get me? Yeah, I don't feel so good. Just come on in, I'll be lying on the floor. I'm just looking at the phone going, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. It was at night, so I drove myself to the emergency room. That's a nice, relaxing drive. No, after you. Merge, everybody, merge. I'm only imploding. So I pull up at the entrance to the emergency room. No valet parking. I mean, if that's not the biggest oversight in our solar system. If there's ever a time where you want to go, can you park this because I need to collapse immediately? But no, I'm circling around a parking lot. Can I park there? I think I'm going to die. I'm dying too. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'll go up a couple levels. Unbelievable. I don't care if you're driving yourself or someone else to the emergency room. You still want to get out and run in with them. Are you supposed to drop somebody off and go park a car? Okay, you go in. Tell them you're shot. Ask them if they validate. Unbelievable. So I finally park, you know. I go in to check in. They ask the most insulting question when you check into a hospital. What seems to be the problem? What seems? Well, it seems. It seems like everything on my inside wants to be on my outside. But I'm no doctor. What kind of condescending question? So they check me into my luxurious half room. There's a curtain down the middle with a mystery patient on the other side. And he's moaning over there. Thinking, man, they're never going to help me with him moaning like that. So I got to out-moan him, you know? Quit moaning, we're all hurting. The whole floor is like a haunted choir. It's got to be hell to work in this environment. So I'm killing time writhing. Nurse finally comes in. How are you doing tonight? I'm on a gurney. Do you have a painkiller or something? This is killing me. So she goes, how would you describe your pain? It's killing me. I don't know if you remember that part. Ouch. What, are we playing that pyramid game? Excruciating. Horrific. Would rather have shards of glass in my eyes. How do I convey this to you? So she asks, how would you rate your pain? 4 stars. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. She goes, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst? Well, you know, saying a low number isn't going to help you. Oh, I'm a 2. Maybe the high 1s. You could give me a baby aspirin and cut it in half. Maybe a Flintstone vitamin and I'll be out of your brain. You can go 10 to all the 3s and 4s and such. If anyone's saying such ridiculous numbers. I couldn't bring myself to say 10, though, because I had heard the worst pain a human can endure is getting the femur bone cracked in half. And I don't know if that's true, but I thought if it is, they have exclusive rights to 10. And now I'm thinking, what was I worried about? Is there like a femur ward at the hospital? They would have heard about me and hobble into my room. Who the hell had the audacity to say he was at a level 10? You know nothing about out of 10. Give me a sledgehammer. Let me show you what 10 is all about, Mr. Tommy A. How can I possibly say 10? I can't. So I thought I'll say 9. And then I thought, no, childbirth. I better not try to compete with that. And then I'm thinking, you know, it must be hell giving childbirth when your femur bone's cracked. So I said, I guess I'm an 8. She goes, oh, okay, I'll be back. I'm like, oh, I blew it. I ain't getting nothing with 8. But she surprised me. She comes in, she goes, the doctor told me to give you morphine immediately. And I'm like, morphine? That's what they gave the guy in Saving Private Ryan right before he died. Okay, I'm a 4. I'm a 0. I'm a negative 11-teen. Morphine. So they gave me morphine. Wow. All I know is about 15 minutes later, just for the hell of it, I was like, I'm an 8 again. Guess who's an 8? And they finally checked me out. I'm walking down the hall going, say 8, say 8, say 8, say 8. Happy 8 day.
That's great. Brian Regan, one of the funniest guys in the world, man. If you ever see him, have an opportunity to see him in concert, that guy's the best. He is absolutely the best. Brian Regan, very, very funny dude. When we come back, we have a forecast that is going to help out the people in the Franklin fire, Malibu area. Yep, that's right. We're calling for rain. So hope it happens. We'll tell you exactly when that's going to happen when we come back.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.